some residents in Guatemala are taking a cue from El Salvador's Bitcoin beach, aiming to use cooking oil remnants that could otherwise make its way into a local lake for Bitcoin mining. Joining us now with more is Patrick Melder. He's the founder of Bitcoin Lake. Welcome to the show, Patrick. So you were inspired by Bitcoin Beach in El Zonte, El Salvador, to create a Bitcoin circular economy in Guatemala in a picturesque lake town called I'm going to butcher it, Panajachel, or Pana. So tell us about yourself and what led to this Bitcoin Lake project.
Well, it's Panajachel, Pana for short, and I'm a surgeon, an ear, nose, and throat surgeon by training, and also a serial entrepreneur. And when I found out about Bitcoin and fell down the proverbial rabbit hole, I thought, wow, this would be a great technology to bring to the citizens of Guatemala. And my connection with Guatemala is, for about 6 years, my family and I would go down there to Panajachel, and we ran an art camp at a school. And when I could no longer do that, and I found out about Bitcoin, I thought, wow, this would be a great thing to bring back down to Panajachel and lift the economic opportunity for the residents around the lake. And the Bitcoin mining project is an effort to really clean the environment at the same time by providing economic incentive and opportunity for the residents around the lake. So it's a really exciting project, and super excited to talk about it.
Yeah, so you're trying to create sustainable Bitcoin mining projects down there, and we do have a clip of cooking oil being used to fuel, I suppose, ASICs, is that what these are? So tell us exactly what's going on here.
Yeah, so, when we first started the project and when I first conceived of it, I mean, you can see there that Atitlan, the lake, is a beautiful lake, and it's got all the opportunities for renewable energy, wind, solar, hydro, geothermal, but those are expensive projects to implement, capital-intensive projects to implement. So when we got on the ground there, we just started looking for other opportunities for renewable energy and stranded energy, quite frankly. And as we started going down or up the possible scenarios, we came across old diesel engines, and we thought, well, why can't we just use cooking oil in this? Because that's why diesel engines were created in the first place. So that's how it evolved. We were just trying to find the cheapest way to generate energy to provide Bitcoin for the community. And it's really because of the team that I brought down there and the smart people just wanting to make something happen that we came up with this idea. And in fact, it's the first time in the world that cooking oil is being used to create energy to mine Bitcoin. So it really goes to demonstrate that it doesn't matter where you are in the world. If you have a locked piece of energy, a stranded piece or source of energy, you can use it to mine Bitcoin. And the beautiful thing about this is that oil would have found its way into the lake in some fashion, either thrown out directly, or if it was put into the landfill, it would have made its way into the watershed, because the landfill actually sits about 600 to 800 feet above the lake. So it's a beautiful virtuous cycle of recycling not only used cooking oil, but old ASICs and a 40-year-old diesel engine. So we're recycling everything that we can. It's really remarkable.
Wow, that's a really creative way of doing Bitcoin mining there. So I wonder, what has the reception been in the community there? Are people, how many people are now involved? Are people starting to use Bitcoin? What's the interest?
Well, we have a team of us that are involved in this project, and we started this project in January of this year, and around the lake right now, we have about 70 businesses that are using Bitcoin. And so the community involvement and community acceptance of what we're doing has been phenomenal. We actually there's a photo also of us presenting an ASIC machine to the mayor. So the mayor's been very supportive of what we're doing because we're bringing economic opportunity to a great town, a touristy town, but we're providing a different opportunity because during COVID, their tourism just dropped off tremendously. So he sees the opportunity here. So we've been very well received by the community, and it's been a wonderful thing. Yeah.
What's the ultimate goal here? Is it something like what El Salvador has achieved, which is making Bitcoin legal tender and all the, the remittances and creating electronic payments and, that kind of industry within the country? And are you looking at, the promise of Bitcoin in terms of banking the unbanked and what that can, entail?
First, the answer to that is all of the above, but the real goal here is, yes, to bank the unbanked. And what I like to say about what we're doing in Guatemala, and quite frankly what's being done in El Salvador, is we're creating digital gold. And what I don't want to see happen is what happened when the Spaniards came and the Portuguese came to Central and South America, taking the physical gold. I want the digital gold that is inherently part of the community, the stranded and lost energy there, to go back to the community. So fundamentally, if all we did was create a clean environment using Bitcoin mining as the economic incentive, and then give that Bitcoin back into the community in a project that we're calling, or an idea that we're calling decentralized basic income, or DBI, in contrast to UBI, that's what we want to do. But I think that the example in El Salvador is what we strive to attain, and that's countrywide nation state adoption. I think it's going to be a little bit different path than El Salvador, but absolutely that's our goal. But if we could just create this virtuous cycle of cleaning the lake and giving Bitcoin back to the community, that's enough.